I'm just saying, hey man, you gotta ASAP chill. I mean, Rocky, chill. Like it, please chill. Just chill. You may not have did nothing, but it's that time, y'all. Diddy, you actually are not in trouble this time.
Nope.
For once. Yeah. Tony Buzbee, the ambulance chasing brother from Houston that we said this when at first we was like 100 cases. Remember we said this first before the Jay-Z case came. He's like, hey man, it don't feel right that you got 100 cases yourself.
Yep.
Not that it's 100 with different lawyers all across the country, doing their thing because people may have been, had some issue. But how you got all 100?
And actually, I think it was more than that. You remember because they were saying they had the hotline. Yeah, they had the hotline. And so I think it was like 1,300 that they was gonna have to go through. Remember? Because it was like some astronomical number, and it was like we gotta sift through all of these to see if there's any sort of basis where we can take it to the next level. But he had a case that he thought he could take to the next level.
So he has 300 cases right now pending against Diddy. Well, one of them is dropped. The one with the young lady that had, now we can say, and it's been dropped with prejudice, which means they cannot bring it back into court. This one cannot come back with it. Remember that, and now we can say it, that fanatical fucking story about how you left Rochester, New York at 14 and went to the VMAs. Dude. In the 90s, early 2000s. No cell phones, no technology like that. All we had was pages and some flip phones. You had maybe a little prepaid joint. That may not have worked outside your city.
And we're never one to victim blame, shame, or anything.
That's why we waited. We waited to slander this young lady afterwards. Keep going. That's why, at least for me. At least for me.
But the crazy part about
that never-ending story,
like the entire thing, like the fact that your daddy was like, I feel like I would have remembered doing something to go and get my kid.
And your daddy drives 4.5 hours to pick you up from a major city and don't talk to you about what the fuck happened to you. And the friend that took you happens to be dead. The never-ending story. And I'll be right back. Be on Puffy ass later on, y'all. So don't worry. This is just he getting a reprieve.
Listen. I already told y'all. Like Jay-Z was going ham on this page, like on the Rock Nation page. Like this nigga was so mad that he didn't even reactivate his own Instagram page, which would have been more fitting.
He was like, no.
He was like, y'all gonna see this because I might not come up on your algorithm. Y'all gonna see this from Rock Nation.
Because Rock Nation be pumping regular posts out there.
Yeah, and y'all are going to feel the wrath of Jay-Z. If I did what you said I did, take my ass to motherfucking jail. Go to court and file, like have to bring me in, have them book me. But I ain't do this shit. And the fucked up part about it is, it's understanding the basic concept of science. For every action, there's a reaction, whether it be good or bad. And Jay-Z speaks about how this impacted his family. I got kids, and mainly, probably more so like Blue having access to social media, seeing what people are saying about, her family or whatever. And I could
drop the lawsuit the day before the Mustafa movie came out. Mufasa movie came out. That she was in.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at Jay-Z for going out to support his daughter because people felt like he should stay at home. And I was like, well, why? He is supporting his kid. Like, I'm not about to miss this iconic moment that we'll never get back. We talked about time earlier. I'm going. And I know I'm standing 10 toes down on the fact that I don't even know what the fuck this person is talking about. Now, even in the interview, when she was talking to the journalist, the reporter had her jammed up.
Yep, that made it even worse. She I don't even know what, you know. They probably paid her for that interview, didn't they?
They probably gave her a little money.
And she was just trying. Maybe she just been trying to just cash out, because that hurt her case, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was hanging with the guys from Good Charlotte, and they were talking about their tattoos. Like, dude, we was in Ohio. We didn't even go to the VMAs that year. Remember the one dude from Good Charlotte came out?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you are like, do you know how even just proximity, how that can fuck up shit for other people, and people don't think about that in that long run. That's why I was like, people having to be conscientious of who they're affiliated with, because like the decisions and things that they do can affect somebody else too. And her just even saying, "Oh, I spoke to Benji Madden and Joel about tattoos," and it's like, no, bitch, you didn't. But then you had people like when they was like, we wasn't there, but so like now I'm having to defend myself, and they low key could turn around and sue for defamation. You just set yourself up for all of this shit.
Because you're putting me in a situation where I could be a deposition against me. I gotta show up in court now.
Yep.
Because you have put me in a lawsuit. So now but I shout out to Jay-Z, who's I guess suing Tony for $25 to $50 million. For not even just defamation. Blue Ivy, because they said Blue Ivy, they literally got a statistic that Blue Ivy lost $35 million because of this incident. I was like, damn. Like, y'all look. I said, if you're gonna come at the Kings, you better not miss. You can't fuck around. You better have it good. It took Diddy a long time for us to jam him up.
Yeah,
this wasn't no one fly by night thing. Because we got the Cassie report. We had to get video for people to believe that he was on some.
He did that shit.
Video. That's the only way he's taken down for all this, is he was on video. If we didn't have video, it wouldn't happen.
Beyonce said, "Come harder. This won't be easy."
And now you have made it harder for anyone else that wants to come at him. Because now he has a precedent already and be like, so that you want some bullshit like Tony Buzbee.
Mm-hmm.
So now if
and that's why and what we talk about, how let's say something happened and it becomes very detrimental, and it's like nobody is going to believe your story just simply based on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody, and I'm not trying to discredit her, because I know she, is like autistic and all these different things. So she was saying she could get things confused. But also, this sounds crazy. Y'all be confusing y'all blacks.
They do.
And you could have thought, and something could have happened to you. But that might not have been that person. Somebody, you know how somebody, just like the episode of Atlanta, where the Drake episode. And you're going to this party, and these people could have threw this event, and they could have been there. They could be friends of Drake, but Drake ain't there. And you get caught up in some shit, and you don't go. That y'all. Listen, that episode seems far fetched, but that shit be happening, and it happens out here a lot. And so something could have, but also it didn't make sense. And I know sometimes when you have a traumatic experience, you can, when you block stuff out, and then when it's time to kind of recall, you can have details confused. But buddy,
I mean, it's very interesting. I've always thought about that episode of Atlanta in general, because originally this is America's this was a diss to Drake.
Really?
100%. It was a diss to Drake.
Well, what was they beefing about?
He just thought he thinks he's like a lot of niggas do. I think he's just unauthentic. Like, And that's why it was called This Is America because this nigga's Canadian. Like,
Well,
but then he changed it at the last minute.
I'll say my piece offline. Continue.
I get it, but I'm just saying that
you already know.
Yeah, I know. All right. Don't. It's sometimes it's okay. Sometimes we gotta. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's okay. I'm just saying. So, but Tony Buzbee, man, you're in. Yeah, you done barked up the wrong tree potentially, buddy.
I just don't understand. I do understand.
Tony's used to punking people, like bullying people.
That's like the client that he, like kind of swindled out of that money that divorcee.
Yeah. And
the
dude that got he was loaning out his own money to him and then making him pay interest on his own money from his own settlement.
Like you said, ambulance chasing
cat, lawsuit cat.
Yeah, that's wild. But we knew it was gonna happen. It was gonna happen. We knew that just because the math wasn't mathing.
Yeah, God. But Diddy, you still in jail though, so we all good. Man.
Hey y'all, if you like what you see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to hit that button right there. It'll take you to more clips, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast. See you back next time. Hey y'all, if y'all like what y'all see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with your friends because we got all the tea. And if you want to check out more stuff from us, be sure to hit that button right there on the right side so you can see other stuff and again share with everybody.